Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. Glad to be with you all here again for another edition of the program that set the foundation upon which all of your red pill, high value, MGTOW, winosphere, knockoffs and ripoffs stole everything they got from. This is the place, and tonight's program is going to be a little bit different. Fair warning right now. I want to let you all know tonight's program is going to be different. And the reason that tonight's program is going to be different, it will not be very visually dynamic, because I just got some stuff on my mind. And I really just want to say what's on my mind and just get down to it here. Now, you know I have a rule here on the business. I don't beef with anybody. Don't let anybody tell you that they got it first. No, I don't beef with people. And I don't take issue with people, to be totally honest with you. I take issue with ideas. If those ideas are corrupt. And I want to make sure that we're clear with everybody exactly why we say the things that we say. So, one of my rules is that you don't get to mention other YouTubers here on my channel. You don't get to do that. You want to mention them, go mention them elsewhere. I don't let you go promoting other people on my program, and you cannot accuse me of beefing with nobody because I don't allow you to say other people's names. You can say it, you cannot say it, but you can't mention their names here. And you can't accuse me of doing it because I will remove you if you do. That's the rule. That's the rule. You do not get to say names here, nor do you get to accuse about beefing. There is no beefing here because if you attempt to say somebody's name, I will ban you. So you can't claim that I beef with anybody because I will ban you if you attempt to say somebody else's name. We talk about the business and that's it. That's all. And if you try to claim that old corny ass internet beef stuff, I ban you. Don't you dare try to say somebody else's name here. But tonight's going to be a little bit different. Now, tonight is going to be a little bit different. Not 180 degrees different, but it's going to be a little bit different. Because I want to set the record straight on a few things that you all are going to witness going forward. I'm going to tell you right now, in the words of Juvenile, I tried to told you, but you just didn't hear me. And I've tried to warn you all about how this thing's going to be. Unfortunately, we live in an era where a lot of people are just going around and they're mimicking and copying things they heard elsewhere from other places. They're doing no critical thinking whatsoever. No critical thinking at all. This is a place that actually demands it. We actually demand it. That you have to critically think. And because these people are not critically thinking, they're just following whatever they see the crowd saying. And when these individuals came across the term red pill, they just jumped right in line. They didn't think critically. They just fell right in line. People who are trying to make a YouTube name for themselves, they look for what's popular and then they repeat that. That's what makes us different here. I don't look for what's popular and repeat that. I just do what's necessary, whether it's popular or not. I don't look to be popular. But what they've done is they have allowed themselves to become puppets of the intellectual thought leaders of the so-called red pill movement. And the problem is, as I told you all when I originally started the business, those guys aren't thinking about you. As a matter of fact, they're trying to erect walls to stop you. The so-called black manosphere, which is just a hell of a whole lot of winosphere going on, but the black winosphere, manosphere, whatever you want to call it there, these guys have basically been riding the coattails of the white dudes, specifically Rollo Tomasi and his ilk. Since Rollo has been credited as basically being the guy who paved the way for this red pill can't say the movement necessarily, but most responsible in their eyes for popularizing it. But there were problems. And the problem I saw from the very beginning that these other folk never figured out and still haven't figured out now is that these white dudes ain't looking out for y'all. They aren't. It's amazing that, and some of these clowns have been mocking, quote, the pro-black people, but you've been made an ass of this week. And it happened exactly the way I told you that it would. Because the white dudes have been using all of these cornballs who've been sucking up to them. They've been using these guys. You're getting all the views. And now that those of us who are speaking about these issues, whether it's the black manosphere, black folk gonna figure out a way to make it hot. And that's what I really want to get into. We find up a way to make things pop. We find a way to make things pop off. And the white dudes couldn't figure out how to get mass interest in this like this. They got interest among themselves, but they couldn't take it to the masses. Now they feel some kind of way because they were unable to take it to the masses. They weren't able to do that. They found themselves in the caboose of a train that they told themselves they built. And now a bunch of black men have gotten into this thing. And now the white dudes have found themselves basically reduced to a footnote in something that they tell themselves they made. So I'm going to do something I usually don't do. I'm going to speak specifically about specific people. Don't ask me to do this again after tonight because I won't. I'm not going to speak about specific people. But I'm going to do it tonight for a reason. I got messages from people, and let me tell you one thing, folks. If you send me emails telling me, hey, Jason, you should watch this, you should watch that, just understand I ban people. I block people in my email. My email is only for people that I ask to contact me. If you contact me talking about, well, I think this is something you should know about, I think this is something you should know you got blocked. So don't send me emails unless I asked you to. Because if you do, I will block you. So if you've never been able to get in touch with me, probably because you're blocked, because you probably took upon yourself to think you could just email me out of nowhere and you thought wrong. So don't do that. But some of the people that I know were like, hey, Jason, you want to check out this video. So I did. Now, it turns out that they basically been having a powwow, I guess, down there in Miami. And they brought the white dudes with them. Because, of course, white daddy, it ain't valid if white daddy don't show up. Even if you're getting more views than white daddy and you're getting more attention, it ain't valid unless white daddy is showing up. So that's what these guys are still on. White daddy had to be there because it's not valid if he's not there. Well, they had a program that they did and they all got together and it got a lot of views. It didn't go viral. Fellas, learn the difference between the words viral. You didn't go viral. You just got a decent view count. Please. You got a decent view count. And that's cool. You did a hell of a whole lot more than your white benefactors that you keep kissing up to have done. But I warned you this would not end well. I warned you about this. And folk were like, my people were saying, this video here, take a look at Rollo Tomasi's response to it. Now, these were my people saying, take a look at his response. So when my people get my attention, I'm like, okay, let me see. Let me see what happened. I'll go ahead and check this out for myself, and I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. And there was a video. There was a video that Rollo Tomasi did, and yes, tonight I'm going to say names. I'm going to say specific names. Don't ask me to do it again after tonight because I won't. I will ban your ass. I don't beef with anybody, and you're not going to come here promoting other people on my platform. If you attempt it, I will ban you. Tonight is the only exception, and I'm making the exception for myself. Don't you take it upon yourself to say you going to mention other folk. If I didn't mention them, it ain't worth mentioning them. Other folk ain't going to come to my program on my YouTube channel and eat off me. So if I don't mention their names, I don't care if you figure out who it is or not. You go beef with your mother. A lot of you if you're upset with me, you got daddy and mommy issues. Go beef with your mama. Don't try to come beef in here. Rollo Tomasi did a video called Humbled Women, Is the Red Pill the New Black? And if you want to, you can go ahead and you can go check that out. But Rollo did a video called Red Pill is Red Pill the New Black? And my people were like, Jason, you need to watch this. You need to check this out because it went down. So I'm like, okay, well, this video doesn't have a lot of views. We routinely get more views than Rollo Tomasi. He found himself put into the back seat, and truth be told, he got shoved into the trunk of a genre that he told himself that he pioneered. And he wound up not just being a passenger, he wound up being a hitchhiker on a freeway that he told himself he had built because you don't do it as well. And the problem is, we'll get to why you fail at it in a little bit here, Rollo. We'll get to it in a minute. But in his video, Is Red Pill the New Black? People, you can go count this for yourselves. And my folk told me about this, and I was like, are you serious? He mentioned Kevin Samuel's name at least 24 times. You can sit there and count them. You can go through the transcripts and look it up. He said it 12 or 24 times. And he was criticizing, saying that you shouldn't be just capping on the women like that. That I mean, if you want to do that as part of your brand, then okay, I guess you can go ahead and do that. But it doesn't make a difference because it's like beating up on little children. And he said that over and over and over again. Oh, I don't have a problem with Kevin, but, you know, if you're going to do that, it just seems like beating up on little children after a little while. I don't know why you do that. It's just beating up on little children after a little while. It doesn't really do anything there. I mean, if you're just trying to build your brand, okay, fine. But, you know, you reach diminishing returns. It really just doesn't matter. After all that work y'all did to bring the white dudes into the conversation that you all been having, soon as y'all let them in, when they were sitting in front of y'all, they were talking about how much they loved you. Soon as they went back to their YouTube channels, they were telling people that what you're doing is wrong. And let me tell you what it is that you did wrong, fellas. You were sitting up here checking a group in a room full of white women. And I warned you that that was not going to go over, that the white YouTubers in your so-called red pill, you can't form an alliance with them because as soon as you black males, no matter how ass-kissing you are, Donovan, you can be the biggest ass-kissing Oreo-wearing coon you can be, but the moment that you attempt to assert yourself as the alpha over some white women, the white men are going to check you. And that's exactly what they did. He checked all you fellas, the little weightlifter dude and the rest of them. Y'all were kissing his ass. He went back to his program and said that you were all wrong for what you did. He went right back and said you were wrong. He didn't say it there in front of you. He waited until he left, got on his YouTube channel, and then said all of you were wrong. All of you. So y'all been kissing these folks' asses and trying to show them that you can be the dark-skinned white folk. And as soon as they got back to their YouTube channels, they clowned the hell out of all you idiots. Just like I told you they were going to do. You all can go listen to the video yourselves. Humbled Women is Red Pill the New Black by Rollo Tomasi. He sat there and went on and on and on and on and on. I mean, he went in on them. Yeah, in the chat room, if y'all saw that video, folk in the chat room saying they saw the video too. Yeah, he went in on them. He went in on all the black dudes and said they shouldn't have done that that was wrong. And the reason he did that, they've been talking about black women forever. The reason that, oh yeah, and by the way, and Rollo said, and they're talking to the black community if you want to talk to that community. Okay, Rollo, I heard that. I was the guy who called it out months ago. Your lackeys and flunkies over there in the black winosphere still see you as white daddy. I ain't looking for a second daddy, so you ain't never going to have that kind of room and position with me. But all right. All right. But I warned you. I warned you that this was going to occur. I warned you that you couldn't snuggle up to them. I warned you couldn't get buddy-buddy with them. I warned you that as soon as you eclipsed them and surpassed them, they were going to do a takedown of you, and that's exactly what they did. So y'all brought them to Miami and legitimized them. You all surpassed them. And rather than move them off the stage so that you can take over the conversation, you brought them down there, put them on the stage with you, legitimized them. And as soon as they left, they went back and said, okay, we're going to enforce our white privilege and white primacy. And that's exactly what they did. They sat there at the table with you, smiling in your damn face. Y'all were jigabooning and dancing like monkeys. And then white daddy spanked the hell out of all of y'all when he went back home. How stupid was that? And I told you this was going to occur. I told you it was going to happen. And it did. Why? Because the white so-called manosphere, which is a lamosphere over there, them dudes ain't looking to share power with us. I told you this when I first started the business, and you niggas thought you were going to rebel and do your own thing, and all you do is make fools of yourselves. I told you that they were not going to share power with you. They were never, I said it from day one, they are never going to let a bunch of black males walk into a room full of white women and assert themselves as the alpha. You can talk about black women all you want to. You can probably talk about Latinas. They going to start getting a cold shiver when you talk about Asians. And if you dare to check white women, they going to have the ass over it. Why? Because they are not about to let a bunch of black males define masculinity for white women. Because you have made your impression on them. They're not going to do that. I told you and I warned you that that would be the case. I told you they were going to do that. I told you they were never going to let you establish yourselves as the alpha in a room full of white women. And you actually thought you were going to be able to do it, and you thought you were going to have backup. Those guys took offense. That cornball Cleary guy, he took offense. He outright told y'all to shut up while he was talking. He didn't say that over the phone. He said that right in front of you, and they all got quiet. They took offense at you black males telling white women what the deal was. Why? Because these old dudes ain't got no real flex about them. You guys took over the alpha role with a veracity and an intensity that these guys couldn't keep up with. And so they immediately were like, hey, nigga, calm down. Tone it down. You're doing too much. They couldn't keep up with y'all. Y'all are talking about dating whatever you want to and just making the rules. And them guys wasn't up for that because they don't have a rule. Rollo Tomasi has been talking about the red pill now for a damn decade. And in this very same video, Is Red Pill the New Black? Rollo says, what comes after the red pill? I don't know. It's a praxology. I don't know. Once you are red pill aware, I don't know what you do after that. It's up to you. Well, the black men showed up and said, well, we know exactly what to do after you take the red pill. Rollo doesn't know what to do. And you all sat there and told him what you're going to do after you are red pill aware. And he never thought that far ahead. He never has. He never has. And when y'all sat there in front of a bunch of white women and told the white women these are the rules of the road, your white masters sat up here and checked all of y'all, just like I said they would. Just like I said you would. All them dudes roll with white supremacists over there. Not just Cleary. No, all those guys roll with white supremacists over there. All of them. They're running around with Tim Pool and Cernovich. And yeah, they roll with all those white supremacists over there. They sure do. But these guys don't know how to lead women. They know how to sit up here and why I'm calling tonight's program Red Pill Jargon. Rollo, every month Rollo brings out some new word. Spinster, solipsism, praxology. He's fallen in love with the intellectualization of discussing male-female relations. He's intellectualized it to basically a fetish level. But black men ain't trying to intellectualize it to death. Black men want answers. Because we want actionable information so we can make answers. Rollo don't really want to answer. He just wants to sit around and talk about it and intellectually masturbate about it. So when you all sat those white women down and said, these are the rules of the road, you moved beyond intellectualizing it and philosophizing about it and debating about it. And you told the white women, look, this is the way we move forward. We make the rules, you follow. And the old white dudes y'all been kissing ass on, they was like, hey, wait a minute. If you're telling white women what the rules are, then by default, you're telling us what the rules are. And you don't tell us what the rules are. We tell you. Y'all fell for the bait. You fell for the bait. These guys, what they do is they sell books off of creating new jargon. They've created their own jargon lexicon. That's why they always want to talk in acronyms. SMV, RP, LTR, TradCon. These guys get off on creating new jargon. That's what it's about to them. To them, this is like Aristotle and Plato and putting together some philosophy class. But this is all they intend to do is create jargon. Talk about evolutionary biology until we devolve into fish again. That's all they're here to do. They don't actually want to get to a point where you say, this is what we do next. Here's how we use the knowledge that we get. Furthermore, they don't want to talk about not only here's how you use it, but that you even should use it. Rollo has never said you even should use it. He says it is what it is. No, it's not. It's power. And power should be used. But Rollo won't tell you this. And when you all sat there and said, okay, here's what we should do with power, tell the females these are the rules, Rollo went into revolt. Because he doesn't actually know what to do with this red pill. And even if he did, he doesn't want it to empower you. Which is what I always said. I always said that the black manosphere, you guys are chasing a fool's errand, because as soon as you try to link up with the white manosphere, those guys are going to cut you off at the knees because they are not going to follow you. They will promote a system where you follow them, but none of them are going to accept you as their superior or their leader. That's why Rollo went immediately to work to undermine Kevin and Bicep Boy. He went back to his YouTube channel and immediately got to work undermining the both of them. They welcomed him in their hospitality, accepted him as a friend and a brother, and as soon as he went back to his YouTube channel, he makes a video spanking and ripping all of you. And y'all are going to go back kissing his ass again. There's understand, you're going to go back and do that, but just understand you're also setting him up as the intellectual godfather, and he's going to be the one setting the rules, because when it's time for you to tell him, no, these are the rules, y'all are going to submit to White Daddy because that's what you do. So I told you that's what was going to happen. I told you that when you went to talk to them, they were not going to allow you to lead anything. I told you that. I told you that. I said it from the very beginning. They were okay as long as you were sitting around buying their books, repeating their jargon, repeating their acronyms, because that promotes them. What they didn't think was that you were going to take things from me and that you would establish a unified ideology based on what I gave you, which was separate and apart. I don't philosophize about power. The business, this entire YouTube channel I told you all, this is about power dynamics, not about dating. I don't care about dating or being a pickup artist. I want to know what you're going to do with the power you've been given. That's why I told y'all from the beginning, I ain't no damn red pill, manosphere, MGTOW, I ain't none of that. If you want to say label it something, it's power dynamics. We don't swallow the red pill, we read the black book. And it is about power dynamics. And you black fellas, some of you were able to get some of your videos to get picked up by hundreds of thousands of people. You eclipsed the white dudes, and now the white dudes are here trying to take their throne back. And you guys ain't getting it. The white dudes came to come take their throne back, is what I'm telling you. They have no intention of letting you sit there. They came to get the throne back. And what they're doing is what they always do. They're infiltrating your program because they saw you would let them do it. They bring you onto theirs only because you can bring eyeballs that they can't. You can bring view counts and eyeballs they can't. But eventually they're going to be like, okay, we'll bring you on, and then slowly stop bringing you because you got too hot too quickly. So we can't ignore you out of existence anymore. So if we associate with you, we can take over your audience by association. Why? Because you're always submitting to us. When you come on the white guys programs, y'all are submitting to them. Bicep Boy sat up here and said that the most oppressed guys in America were the white dudes. No, Bicep Boy literally said that. It doesn't get more ass kissing than that. You're not just watching your oppressor, you're identifying with them. What kind of Muslim household raises a boy to sit up here and say something like that? What kind of Muslims did that? To open up your mouth and to say something like that? Do you realize how much ass kissing you got to do to sit up here and say that? You're not identifying with your oppressor. You have assimilated to him. And they sat there and let you do it. But you know what? They would never sit up here and say that black males are the most oppressed at anything. I want you to understand this is the level of butt kissing that they were doing over there. And then the guys y'all were kissing ass on, they didn't even have the decency to let you live. They went back to their YouTube channel and said, glad you're kissing my ass. Now let me show everybody who the hoe is. Let me show everybody who the hoe is. That's a bad look. It's a bad look. No, I'm not sitting up here capping at anybody. What I'm saying is that if you all want to know why it is I don't fool with these clowns, this is why. This is why I don't fool with any of them, because they're not ready. They're not ready for manhood. They're not ready for adulthood. They're not ready for intellect. They're not ready. All they're ready to do is to chase non-black sex and chase non-black women and suck up to non-black men. You ain't matured enough, dude. You ain't matured enough. No way. No way. Furthermore, when they bring you with their junk science, they want to reduce male-female relations to some kind of scientific basis. It becomes a damn math book. It becomes a biology book. Rather than sitting up here and just focusing on what you do. See, these guys didn't understand that. All these white pickup artists have spent decades philosophizing and theorizing, not actually doing any of it. And they're chasing sex, not power. They don't get it. So this is why they institute everything as junk science. They brought their red pill junk science. Telling you about biology and every damn thing else. This is why Rollo had to start changing what he said, because I showed him, you're not right. Being an alpha is not about sex, Rollo. I had to educate Rollo. Now he's updated what he said and changed it, but only after I said it last year. Being an alpha is not about sex. Being an alpha is about power, not sex. And they didn't get it. He didn't know that. He thought being an alpha was about sex. They're still operating on this high school dynamic. They're still operating on this high school dynamic. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do. I'm not sitting here talking from a high school standpoint. I'm not speaking about this from a high school standpoint. I'm not trying to turn this into some ultra complicated biology book. And the reason that they want it to be a biology book is because once you become students, you sit around discussing your inability to understand how to deal with females, but you never actually understand it and actually start moving in a different way. They just tell you, well, this is how women are different from men. They don't then tell you, and here's the agenda, because they don't have an agenda except to sell you books, introduce you to their lexicon, and now you become their eternal student. It becomes like church. They want you to read their books, but don't want to tell you what to do. The black males actually have an agenda, and now the white dudes y'all been kissing ass on, now they're pushing back. They're pushing back now. They're pushing back and saying, all right, you've made it this far. That's enough. Let me just say this straight out. I don't want to hear about your damn lexicons. I don't want to hear about your damn lexicons. Not really interested in your acronyms. Not really interested in that. Not really interested in that. I want to talk about how you can use it. I want to talk about how you can use these things. I don't want to sign you up for a course. I don't want to have you buying no damn books. I don't want you to sit up here and, well, this is what female nature is. Okay, once we understand female nature, now what? Now that we understand it, now what do we do with it? Next, their only strategy is, well, once you understand it, come buy my next book, which will repeat everything I told you in the first book. They don't like it because the black males, as pitiful as they've been, they actually brought something resembling an agenda, even though they took much of it from me. Yeah, because I came with an agenda. So it don't sound the same. You all don't see me spitting a bunch of jargon here. I get straight to the agenda and straight to the answers. I don't sit up here with a bunch of jargon and acronyms and going through the history of this, that, and the other and quoting 50,000 people throughout the years and trying to turn this into some intellectual exercise. This isn't an intellectual exercise to me. Power isn't something that you philosophize about. It is something that you execute. But they don't understand that because that's not why they're here. So when you sat in a room full of white women and you started giving those white women directions, you started talking to those white women like you were running things, y'all fellas got too damn comfortable right in front of white daddy. You got too damn comfortable. And you thought you were doing all the things that they told you not to do. You thought that you were doing all the things, you thought you were doing all the things that they instructed you to do. All the stuff they've been telling you to do all this time, you thought you were doing it the right way. And the problem is, you established yourselves as the alphas. Your so-called white mentors in the room with you, they look like the betas. And you guys, in comparison at least, you started looking like the alphas. It was very clear. Why? Nobody remembers what Aaron or Rolo said. Nobody remembers and nobody cares. Nobody talked about it after the fact. Nobody shared it. They tried to pretend that what they were saying was so prescient, but nobody was sharing it. Nobody cared. Nobody disseminated it. No one's quoting it. No one gave them an attaboy. When you guys got done, they were only talking about y'all. And then you all still ran back, got down on your knees and said, hey, white daddy, can I give you credit for this? I feel like my man T.K. Kirkland, who raised you? Yeah, I know I sound damn different to y'all because I'm not looking for a white daddy to kiss ass on. I ain't really trying to do that. So you all, if you want to know why it is from day one, I've made sure you all understood I'm not no red pill nothing. Because the black so-called red pillars are really just the bastard stepchildren of their white fathers. And white daddy is sitting up here saying, okay, he'll be damned if masculinity in the 21st century is going to be defined by you. He would rather see the women, those white women, he's trying to put them back in charge. He is not going to vie for control and fight for control with you. And I warned you that this was going to occur, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Y'all check those white women. And the white dudes one of them immediately started telling y'all to be quiet while he was talking. And the other one went back to his YouTube channel and ripped all of y'all. They weren't happy to see that. They weren't glad to see that. They had no problem when you were doing it to black women. That wasn't a problem. When they had to sit there with their own eyes and watch you put the pimp hand down on a group of white women, they were like, oh, hell no, this is out of control. They said, this is out of control. We got to snatch back the reins of power. This is out of control now. This is out of control. We can't have it. So that's it. This is why I told y'all you're not going to be able to have some black folk keep trying to have these coalitions. Oh, I said it. Oh, I said it. We keep chasing this nonsense and this foolishness of building a coalition. Y'all are still chasing this phantom and this figment of your imagination, this hallucination of a coalition. You're going to form a coalition with them and everything's going to be fine. Yeah, your coalition is going to be great so long as the white dudes get to lead it. But the white dudes are not going to follow you. They only want to use you to the extent that they bring you in. They do not want to follow you. They won't follow you. And as soon as you got more power than them, They're not going to go after the women. Rolo didn't go on his YouTube channel and go after the women. He went after the black dudes. And not just one of you. He went after all of you. He didn't go back there and go after the white women. He went after all of you. He didn't sit there and say, you know what, it's good that we raised awareness about this so that everyone can see what's going on. And this perfectly illustrated it. He didn't say that. He was like, y'all are wrong for doing that. I mean, if it helps your brand, if you want to just do it to help your brand, well, if that's the kind of thing you like to do, then, oh, well, I guess you can do that. But at some point, you're just beating up on children. First of all, let's be very, very clear. These weren't children. These are grown-ass women. These are grown-ass women. And Rolo was talking about their children. No, he's protecting their white womanhood. He didn't mean their children. He meant these are our women. They're off limits. Rolo Tomasi, as a white man, I can check them. And then notice they didn't check them hard neither. Just understand, the white dudes let you know, we're not going to sit here and spank these women. We're not going to do that. Now, when they talk to the black males, they clown them and make fools of them all the time. Especially that Aaron dude, he sits up here and clowns Fresh and Misfit. Them Negroes sit up there and still be laughing. That's not funny when that guy does that. He needs to show some respect when he walks in that room. They sitting up there laughing. That's not a laughing matter. It really isn't. That's really some clown stuff y'all are on. Y'all young fellas look foolish as hell, and you're going to look back in 10 years playing the words you said, and it's going to be it's going to be humiliating to you. It's humiliating now. It'll probably just be humiliating to you then when you realize, oh my God, was I really sucking their asses this hard? Yeah, you really were. But them white dudes was not sitting up there taking those women to task and spanking them. They were asking them real nice and real congenial. They were upholding and maintaining the privilege of their white womanhood. When you bypassed it and said, no, we're going to talk to you like adults, that's when them dudes got uncomfortable. They got uncomfortable. They didn't talk to those women the way y'all did. And you all didn't yell at them. You didn't curse at them or anything. What you did was you made it clear this is the way it's going to be. And the white dudes are used to just being able to talk in a low tone and everybody fall in line. Everybody didn't fall in line, so now they're coming back to get y'all in line. They're here to get you in line. And it was real sad. It was a bad look for all of you. That was a bad look. That was a bad look. And now White Daddy has done exactly what I said he was going to do. He went back to his program and he just started clowning the hell out of everybody. He went back to his program and clowned the hell out of everybody. Y'all start chasing that damn coalition. Your coalition's dead. I warned you. I told you from the beginning. I told you it was never going to happen. I told you that you are here to help promote their interests, but they're not going to promote yours. You went out of your way to bring individuals who are your inferiors, who do not get the numbers you get, who don't have the pull you have, who don't have the audience reach. They're not dynamic. They're old. They're dusty. They're filled with cobwebs. They're obsolete. These are a bunch of old, obsolete fossils. You guys have surpassed them, but you've gone out of your way to bring some obsolete mechanisms into the room, and the obsolete people immediately went to work undermining you. This is why I don't fool with you guys, because you were foolish enough and stupid enough to do this over and over and over again. And they're not done. They're going to do it again. They're going to be kissing his ass even more to let him know, hey, we don't agree with that Jason Black dude. You don't know what the hell he's talking about over there right there. Everything went fine. Okay. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm not going to kiss their ass. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit up here and suck up to them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit up here and let them exploit me. I'm not going to do that. They can get the respect that they earn. But let's just be very, very clear. There's an agenda. And there is an end game. And the end game is that right now, the world is hella out of balance and hella out of whack. Completely out of balance and completely out of whack. And it needs to be put back in proper balance again. And that's not going to happen with you sitting up here refusing to say exactly what it is that you want. And letting these guys sit up here and intimidate you into not saying it. Nonsense. Nonsense. You don't let them sit up here and intimidate you into not doing it. And I've been saying that for the longest time here, that you need to be aware. Don't let them sit up here and intimidate you into that. Don't let them sit up here and intimidate you into refusing to say, hey, this is actually what the agenda is. This is actually what we want here. Don't let them sit up here and fool you into that. No, I don't fool with them. Not because I'm bougie, not because I'm this and that, because these guys are not mature enough, savvy enough, wise enough, or smart enough not to get put into a damn trick bag. They are still following dudes who are actually their inferiors. I'm not going to get mobbed up with a bunch of guys who are looking for a massa to bow down to. That's not me. That's not my role. That ain't my scene. That's not where I'm going to be at. This is the only night that I'm going to do this like this, but I'm just letting you all know. For the folk who wonder, well, why is it Jason didn't do this or didn't do that, and why come you're not seen in those places like that? This is the reason why. But enough about that from me. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the business. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to tonight's program on CashApp or, on YouTube there in Super Chat. You know how I feel about that because they keep 1/3 of what y'all give. But thank you very much anyway. Takara, thank you very much for that, ma'am. We appreciate that. Solomon, my man, Ezekiel, thank you very much as well. To everyone who has contributed to tonight's program, we appreciate that. I'm going to send you all a thanks for that. And thank you for your support here as well. Understand something here. You're not going to be able to get them to respect you on those terms, because as soon as you get powerful, they're going to do the takedown. That's what they're doing. As soon as you start gaining any power for yourself, they step in and say, okay, let's do the takedown. This is what we're about. This is what we're doing, and we're taking you down. And that's it. That's it. Darius from Atlanta, thank you very much here. We're going to get this thing cracking for you. This is what we do. Going to go ahead. And by the way, I will say this here right now tonight, because some folks right here, your thong is getting bunched up. Some of you fellas, your thongs are getting bunched up there. So I wouldn't want that to happen. I wouldn't want you to get your thong bunched up. That doesn't really serve us. So, if it makes you feel some kind of way, all right. If you want them to call me, because some folks right here think that's the issue. It's not an issue for me. I'm not inviting anything, but my phone lines are open to anyone. I don't screen calls. I don't have to. If any of them want to call me, I don't screen calls. I don't hide from anybody. I take them every week. You can go ahead and just sit back, smile, and dial. But tonight only, because I want to set the record straight about this. If you all want to know why it is, Jason Black has never been no red pill MGTOW nonsense. I don't subscribe to their jargon or their junk science. They just gave you a perfect and quite frankly pitiful display illustrating why I don't. Let me get caller from area code 281. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Prince out of Richmond, Texas.
Prince out of Richmond. What's on your mind?
Jason, you hit the nail on the head. So basically, this manosphere and these different individuals. See, I saw that episode too. Basically, they trying to get approval of white daddy. They think they're gonna be the overseer of the women. They think that they're gonna be the ones. Look, white daddy, how I check the women. You can't check Miss Ann and think white daddy's gonna go with that. You notice that guy, white daddy, walked out before the show was over. I knew it was a problem then. And he, you checking white women in front of him. You think they're going for that? They think because they're getting their numbers up that now, look at me, white daddy. Don't you approve of me? I've followed your theory. Of course, they use your talking points. I've actually even heard the poser say, I'm going to let you have the last word. I've heard him use a whole bunch of your little stuff. I thought he was doing it to be offensive towards you, but I don't think they have really a theory. They got followers. And see, that's the key thing. As long as they keep getting followers and they turn on each other, they don't call you directly, but a lot of their minions do call you. The ones that attack you about the red pill stuff, that'd be the people that fall up under them. I've heard at least 3 of them call you talking crazy.
Well, the thing is, they didn't.
Jason,
you noticed that he got up and walked out, but they didn't. They didn't notice what it was. They didn't realize what had happened, and even still, are not having it. That's something you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have an issue with that. You're not supposed to allow that to happen. You're letting them walk up in there, and they're very clearly being disrespectful about that, and they're just so worried that I guess they feel these guys are connected in some way. And it's like, hey, at what point do you just say, you know what? I don't have to worry about burning bridges when I can build my own. Or I don't have to worry about burning bridges when I can fly. No, they're still looking for somebody they think they're going to get legitimacy from those guys. And that's not, that's the real, this is a slave mindset. You don't need legitimacy from them. If you have superseded them, they need to learn from you at this point. But then again, if you're not confident in what you're saying, then you're not actually able to stand up for it and say, you know what y'all are saying is, all due respect, what y'all are saying is obsolete. It's obsolete. I can show you in practice where what you're saying is obsolete. So yeah, I can understand it'll make you uncomfortable because it's obsolete. But the bottom line is what you're saying, we have something better now. And they don't have enough confidence to be able to say that. I'll let you have the last word.
Yes. Well, Jason, I want to ask you a question. The question being, why are they afraid if they have enough confidence to speak? These different people, I'm talking particularly about the poser, because he put out things, and he gets followers, with his, I guess he give women a release, like a way to release their frustrations or something. But if you had enough confidence to do what you're doing, why do you need white daddy's approval? Why do you need a white man who, once you see who he is, you're like, what? This guy? This guy's just sitting up there like he was lost. He was kissing the women's butt.
Prince.
And when he started checking them.
It is what I've always told you all. It's what I always told you all. If you want to know what a black person truly believes, all you have to do is sit them down and let a white person ask the questions. And it's like truth serum. If you want to know what a black person truly believes, put them in front of a white person. And whatever that black person says, that's the gospel truth right there. That's what he truly believes. He'll lie to you and me. He's not going to lie to white daddy. So if you want to know why it is that on the surface, it would seem like they're superior and seem like they got more of a grasp of it, it's like a parent, it's like a child being in front of their parent. As soon as the parent walks in the room, they are naturally going to become subservient and submit. And that's what they're doing. It's a reflexive reaction. I've said it now for over a decade. If you want to know what a black person truly believes, put him in front of a white person and then ask him whatever you want to ask him. And he's going to tell the absolute truth at that point. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 510. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's your boy Shy. Jason, how you doing, sir?
What's on your mind, Shy?
Oh man, just gospel truth. I was so waiting that I waited about a week and a half to see if I guess the other community had reached out to you after that viral video with the three white ladies, but I knew it. I knew those guys would turn on each other, and it's like I get into these silly Facebook and Instagram arguments with these Kevin fans, and I'm like, guys, I like Kevin, but he has to pay homage to the king. He got all his game from Jason Black. It's documented from all his videos from 3 years ago till now. The verbiage, the language, it all changed because I knew he had to be listening to you. And once he got popping with one viral video, then he just forgot where he learned his game from and started switching up. And I just get so frustrated, Jason, trying to. I just shared all your whole program on my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and I'm going to keep on pushing it because people need to understand that the cold-hearted game comes from this channel, and I knew these guys would eat each other alive, and now you're starting to see it.
Well, I warned everybody you're not going to make this coalition. That's not going to happen. The Black Manosphere is not going to be able to work with each other because they are too immature. And the White Manosphere is not going to work with the Black Manosphere because the white dudes are not going to acknowledge you as their superior or the alpha. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 337. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Khaled from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Khaled from Lafayette. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I want to say, I listened to, to the white dudes. Some Uncle Tom told me to listen to them, and all of them are corny, man. And I tried listening to, Kevin. It's entertaining, but at the end of the day, I was listening to another guy, an old school pimp nigga, and I realized he stole all of his stuff too. So he's taking everybody's stuff, man. It's crazy. Like, he took word for word what the guy said and put it in his program the same day.
Well, if you're going to use what somebody said, the reason why, if it's not your concept, you need to give attribution is, first of all, is just respectful. Because if you want to go around flagging folk for putting up your YouTube videos, well, then you should be smart enough and decent enough not to plagiarize stuff. But the other thing is you might be misconstruing it. You might have a misconception. So you need to make sure you got it straight with where you got it from. Because when you quote Rolo, you have no problem saying his name. You got no problem saying his name when you quote him. You should be able to do that with everybody else. But the bottom line, brother, here is, like I say, there's only so much they can take. You're going to have to stand on your own at some point, and they're trying to. And yeah, them dudes are corny as hell. And if you listen to them long enough, you realize they start getting off into tax policy, and they start talking about politics and stuff. The black fellas at least keep it to male-female dynamics. The white dudes let you know what it's really about. It's about control of the society. So they see this as a way. It doesn't mean the same thing to them that it means to them, to these other fellas. What the white manosphere is complaining about isn't the same thing as what the black manosphere is complaining about. The black manosphere is literally really complaining about female behavior. The white manosphere is complaining about their loss of prestige and stranglehold control of the society. Which is why when you talk to them long enough, which is why when I did that video about Rolo and Richard, they were talking about Black Lives Matter. They were talking about the Black Lives Matter protests. What the hell does that have to do with male-female relations? Nothing. What does it have to do about with their control of society? Everything.
I got one more question, brother, if you don't mind.
Yes, what's on your mind?
I heard you say something. About a unified ideology. Can you explain that? Because I kind of, think I know where you're coming from, but I wanted to just ask you.
I have something that I call the fundamental truth. Basically, the fundamental truth is the lowest common denominator of logic and reasoning. That means that you have broken down a subject to its very absolute core element, and there is no underlying interpretation left there that's going to shed any new light on it. So in other words, you've gotten down to the bottom line, the brass tacks, the base core of it. When you have a unified ideology, when you speak on these subjects, people can't come back later and correct you. So if you haven't turned over every stone, you don't have a unified ideology. Case in point, Rollo Tomasi's was giving his guesswork about what it is to be an alpha. So he puts up, what's his name, Lenny from Motorhead as an archetype. Well, that's what sticks out in his mind. When he talks about an alpha, he's talking strictly about sex. He didn't update that until I said being an alpha is not about sex. Being an alpha is about power. And how can I prove this? Because those who are sexually frustrated, what they envy about the alphas is that he's able to get sexual access to the females, seemingly of his choice, which is that's a misnomer as well, but he has more sexual access than a lot of other people do. So he gets envied because of that. However, I raised the point to people early on. Who is the real alpha? The man that a woman wants to sleep with most? Or the man who can tell the woman, walk over there, put a gun up to the head of the guy you just slept with, and pull the trigger, and she does it? Which one of them is the alpha? The one that she desires to sleep with most readily, or the one that she will obey, even if it means taking out the guy she would prefer to sleep with? Now that is you know what the answer to that question is, and that is an example of a unified ideology. You are not going to be able to get below that fundamental truth. I just broke it down to its core. There is no interpretation that's deeper than that. You understand, we really just got to the truth. You know which one of these guys you want to be. There's nowhere else you want to be. And everything that the red pill dudes told you, you're like, now that you've heard me explain to you what an alpha really is, it's like if those guys don't fall in line with what you just heard, you realize, but there's a level y'all ain't getting to over there. At that point, they got to be quiet. So this is the real reason why when they get in the room with guys like me, they get quiet. They don't say anything. Why? Because they've been talking to each other, hypothesizing about this, but not actually utilizing it and living it. So when you show these simple and obvious flaws in their ideology that they should have worked out years ago, because these dudes have been talking about this for over a decade and still have glaring flaws that can be easily identified and easily articulated and easily pointed out, you don't have a unified ideology. You're still trying to get there. That's my point. They don't have a unified ideology. They're still trying to figure out what it should be. No wonder Rollo said, what comes after the red pill? I don't know. It's a praxology. You can take it where you want to go. Yeah, that's the answer you give people when you don't actually have a unified ideology. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, I'll tell you what I told the guy that, tried to make me listen to him. You can look at these dudes and just, tell they ain't never had no women in their life, ever. Like, they're all lames. At least all the white guys. I don't know half of the black guys. It's just, I've seen, videos, snippets of the white guys, and I was like, ain't no way they never had no bitches, ever. So, that's all I want to say, Jason. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 267. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jason. I'm calling out of Philadelphia.
Jason out of Philadelphia. What's on your mind?
Yes, Jason. I've been watching you. When I heard this guy, the guy that you invented. I don't know if I could say his name, but Kevin, you invented that man. He watched limb from limb, part by part, on your high-value video, and he took it and ran with it. But one thing he forgot to do is still attend the class, and then he didn't even give the teacher any credit. See, this is what's wrong with us. Instead of us giving our brother the credit, we want to go over to somebody's community that don't appreciate it, don't acknowledge us, and then want to name something and put black on it, but it's still theirs. It's called the black manosphere. The white man created that. It is still black with white ownership. And I don't understand how these men can't come out and stand behind a man that expressed the message so far that y'all getting it out there, but y'all came to this man's channel and learned something from him, and y'all took it and ran with it, but y'all forgot to get the rest of the lessons because y'all wanted to get big too quick. And that's all I got to say, Jay. But, you know, B1, I mean, I'm just sad. It makes me sick to my stomach that you don't get no credit.
Well, thank you very
and
much.
I've seen you build this man up.
Well, this is an ideology. Like I said, I mean, eventually the truth wins out. Eventually it wins out. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Now, here's the area right here where, in all honesty, now I got to put my black nationalist cap on. Not the cape, the cap. At this point right now I got to put my black nationalist cap on. I got to. You see, when I see a bunch of dudes with alt-right tendencies, this will probably be the only time you all ever see me say something that can be interpreted as, even though he's plagiarized my stuff and whatnot, I can't let this pass. Even though he's mocked the pro-black people, I understand it. You know, you're still trying to get yourself together. It's cornball material. You thought you were going to have a coalition outside black society. You got your ass kicked on first contact. But that doesn't sit right with me. That's off code as hell. You see, when I see a bunch of white dudes get together that y'all are big upping and whatnot, and then I see all of them getting together and they defending Miss Ann and slapping y'all up and smacking y'all up, I got to put my black nationalist cap on. That doesn't sit well with me. That don't sit right with me. That's not the kind of thing I take a look at and I see and I just dismiss that and be like, oh, ho, hum. That didn't sit well with me because I understood what that was. You clowns didn't understand it, and you were sitting right there in the room while you were getting dissed and everything. You just sat right there. I understood that for what it was, and that didn't sit well with me. If you got a bunch of black males and they surpassed these fellas, I recognize that what they were doing. I recognize they got up in there so they could undermine you from the inside. You legitimize them, and then they go at you, and next thing you know, there goes your legitimacy on that. I recognize that when I saw it. That was off. That's off. It would be off code of me not to recognize that. That would be off code. That'd be off code. They get together in their little groups and whatnot, and you know full well there's a racial dynamic to it. And if you didn't know, they let you know. When you start trying to check them white women, they let you know, we ain't having that. But they only went at the black dudes. Because you done got too big. You got too big. So I got to put my black nationalist cap on for a moment here because that didn't sit well with me when I witnessed that unfold. Caller from area code 618. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Boaz. I'm calling from basically East St. Louis, Illinois, but I'm in St. Louis, Missouri right now.
All right, Boaz from St. Louis. What's on your mind?
How you doing? Well, I came in here kind of late, so I was really just trying to listen to what was going on topics. So I thought I'd give you a call. What actually happened? What's going on? I heard about basically about some white women. I guess a black man went on her or something like that.
Okay.
I'm lost.
Caller from area code 214. You're on live. Okay. Caller from 214. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, big brother. This is Mo from Dallas.
Mo from Dallas. What's on your mind, brother?
I would like to commend you, sir. I do respect your resolve, you know, and I appreciate the humanity in which you are addressing these individuals. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that they are listening, and I hope that they are taking notes. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been getting the ism from you for a hot minute, and it has helped my life tremendously. You understand? And I want them to understand the discipline and the respect that you're giving them at the same time. This ain't nothing but you patting their hand, you know what I'm saying? And if they was really, really wise, what they would do is understand that you got this far from biting off you understand? So how much further would they get if they actually became your understudies and got all the wisdom that you do possess? You understand?
Well, here's the real thing though. I mean, you got to understand their motivation. I'm going to say this tonight. Since we're doing this program here, I might as well get it all out in the open. There's nothing more coonish than being dark-skinned black males trying to tell a room full of white women that you don't date black women. There's nothing more ridiculous. It doesn't make us respect white girls when they say they don't date white guys, they only date black guys. You look coonish as hell, fresh and misfit, trying to sit up here and tell a bunch of white women what you don't do with black women as if that doesn't directly reflect on you. Because those white women would never sit up here and do something like that. The white dudes would certainly never hand that to you. So it really looks crazy as hell. So a lot of these dudes, brother, you got to understand, they're on the internet and they're pretending that they're a lot more seasoned and knowledgeable than they really are, and they're not. They really just see this as an opportunity to get easy sex, or at least what to them is relatively easy sex. And they're fronting like they got a lot more pull than they actually have. But the truth of the matter is, they're just out here campaigning for non-black sex, and they will say anything to get it. So if they come in the company of somebody like me, and I'm not going to say just any old thing, they're like, well, damn, bro, how we going to get some non-black draws if we talk like you? Well, you probably won't be able to, but you will still have your dignity and your self-respect. And they said, well, damn that. So I guess somebody who's got their face, nose deep up Roller Tomasi's rump wouldn't have a problem sacrificing their dignity. They didn't have any to begin with. I'm not going to compromise. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 910. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this is Eric calling from D.C.
Eric from D.C., what's on your mind?
Here's the problem. I was told by an old mentor of mine when I was in the Army, you can't ride two horses with one ass. So why do we have everybody claiming to be Jason Black followers listening to these guys? For example, me and you gave me a one-on-one for about 3 hours, actually, in January. I didn't then go on other shows and say, well, what he told me to lose weight. He told me to get a second job. Let me listen to somebody else and tell me if they can tell me something easier. No, I followed what you told me. I didn't go deciding, let me follow halfway through. So part of the problem is everybody wants to go with what's easier, but Jason Black is giving them the toughness, but then tell them to follow through, but we don't want to do that.
Well, the truth of the matter is it's hard. You got to understand, this is why I said in this place here, I build men. I don't sit up here and talk about a life that I'm not living so that men who are not living it can be entertained by it. Because I don't see nothing fly about that. I didn't think it was fly back when I was building and struggling. I don't think there's anything fly about that today. So the internet is a place where a bunch of guys pretend that they got resources they don't really have. They pretend that they're on a level that they're not really on. They talk as if they're on that level, and then they go sell their programs as entertainment to a bunch of dudes who are not on that level. So the dudes who are not on that level can vicariously get a thrill out of hearing women be lectured by a bunch of dudes who ain't actually even living that, as if they were. As opposed to telling these fellas, you know what we're going to do? We're going to spend 90% of our time talking about you, so that you can get your weight up, so that you can actually tell these women what you want, and you can actually start demanding it because you fit the standard. But then again, you cannot teach what you haven't seen, and you cannot coach what you do not know. Which is why when you all ask me questions, I can answer your questions right here on the air. If you all ask me about starting a business, and I'll say this as diplomatically as I can, by the way, but I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all know. By the way, if you all really want to test about it, go ask Kitten Heels about starting a business and wait for that one. Go and ask Donovan Dole. They can't tell you. They don't know. They've never done it. They can't tell you how to double your income. They don't know. Their so-called millionaire white friends pretending they know. They don't know either. They're all on the internet pretending they know, but when individuals like you actually call and ask them, they ain't got no answers. Book a session ain't a damn answer. He should be able to explain to you how to do that. When I get my truck driver dudes who call me up, I can tell them how to double their income. I can tell you right here how to do it. My IT people, my construction people, my internet people, I can tell you how to do it. These other guys, they can't tell you at all. But understand what they're saying is popular because they're not telling you, and thus they're not holding you accountable for it. They're not actually demanding results from you. When folk listen to me, you know full damn well, I'm that drill sergeant father. I expect results. I don't want you to just listen. I expect you to get up and execute. And I'm going to have phone lines open so men can call in and we can all do a check with each other. It's not just the host talking to himself, and it's not just a dude saying, well, don't worry, I'll speak to all the women on your behalf. Imagine going into a dance club with a nigga telling you he gonna speak to all the women on your behalf. You can't speak to him. Now you can pay the cover charge for him to get in, but you can't speak to the women. He'll speak to all of them on your behalf. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. There's no way in the hell I would sit up here and pay somebody who would not let me speak. No way. There's no way in the hell I would pay you and then you tell me that I can't speak. How the hell am I going to pay you $100 but I can't speak? And a bunch of women who paid nothing get to filibuster? But then again, you got to be some kind of special ed dumb dude to sit up here and go along with that. But then again, there's a bunch of them out here. There are a bunch of them out here. And they like it because they know they're not going to be held accountable. When you pick up this telephone, if I hear something I don't like from you, I'm going to hold you accountable. And then I'm going to say, if you want to know why the women are off code as hell, take a look at you. We can't just have one Jason Black-eyed and then everybody else is fell off. No, if enough of us get together and form a critical mass, it changes the dynamic. But you got to hold men accountable. Here's the problem. If you ain't a built man yourself, you don't know how to build other men. So all you can do is complain about what the women ain't doing and fantasize and fictionalize about a bunch of high-value men you don't actually know. Let me go ahead and remind your ass, nigga, my celebrity friends, we can start naming them. I've had them here, not just one time. I can, the NFL athletes I know, we can name them. Just had Khalif Mitchell call me up a couple days ago. I got to chop it up with him here soon. I'm not telling you about some folk I fantasized about, and these are people I talk to on a regular basis. And I've proven it. I'm not name dropping. I don't even have to do a bunch of name dropping. Y'all can see it from the archive and every damn thing else. These are people you talk about. These are people I talk to. I can show it in public. It didn't take me until 2021 to get T.I. to figure out who I was. You're new to the rodeo. I've been had my tickets and my spurs. So that's why the little old stuff you're doing now don't impress me. But these young boys who don't know any better, they're impressed because you aren't holding them to a standard. If you were, you'd be able to name some names and say something. I can name the celebrities I know. I can go down the list. I don't just sit up here and say, well, I know some high-value folk, and I can name their names. Hell, y'all can name their names. Folk are going to say I'm bragging if I run down the list again. I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again. But real recognize real. Dude, you ain't one of us. You're not one of my peers. If you were, even plagiarizing my stuff, if you were one of my peers, I'd see it a little bit differently. Dude, you're a damn journeyman. You ain't a master. Actually, you're an apprentice. You're not even really a journeyman. And you're plagiarizing the master technicians. That's the thing I would have an issue with as well. Before you start doing something like that, you got to earn that ability. First of all, masters don't plagiarize. That's the first thing. And they don't sit up here and overstate their position. Their position speaks for them. I made documentaries standing in the room with the people I know. So I'm qualified to build you. I'm qualified to talk about this with you. I literally made the film about it. I literally did it. I've literally sat there and broke bread with certified, bona fide, verified millionaires and billionaires and then brought them back later on my program so y'all can see I break bread with them. Ain't got to do that all the time. You done seen enough. Ain't no need to talk about it. So I'm qualified to build you. I'm qualified to coach you. I'm qualified to talk about that with you. I ain't got a bunch of females lined up for me to talk about. It's like, well, the females need some men out here. We got to get to building them. But if you ain't a built man, you can't build men. So no wonder the conversation is either a bunch of incel dudes talking to other incel dudes about what they ain't getting done, or one dude talking to a bunch of females and lecturing them. But they're not sitting down with the fellas and saying, hey, we need to sit down and powwow and get all of us on the same code, because one dude doing well is not going to get a nation full of females straight. We get the dudes together, or get enough of them together, that's going to get the nation of females straight. I'll let you have the last word.
Like I said, brother, but you told me to go out and get a second job. 80 hours a week hurts. It hurts. But so does being a builder. It hurts. And I'm not out here listening to anybody else. I got the word. I move with the word. Hey, listeners, we got to stop listening to this other garbage. It just confuses your inner soul. Let it go. Hey, thank you, brother. You have a good night.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please check in with me again. Want to hear how things are going for you. Let me get caller from area code 424. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, Jason? It's AC from Compton.
AC from Compton. What's on your mind?
I was just recommended to this channel, The Business, a few months ago, but I followed your other channel for the past year. Like many folks, I ran across Uncle Kevin a few months ago. And what you're saying, you're right. I do feel that, he openly admits that he studies you too. And so, from what I hear, it sounds like he indeed has studied you. But what I will say is, I don't know if you know, but I've heard him mention you a couple of times on this show. There was no, nothing negative or no ill will, and it sounded like to me like he extended an olive branch.
Okay,
so,
let me explain to you. Let me explain to you a misnomer there about that. First of all, and turn off your speakers, sir. What is going on over here, folks? Let's get our act together. They're calling on the phone, and then they got their 1965 RCA tube master playing behind them. Come on. Let's be very, very clear about something here. It's okay to have voices out there. That's not a problem for me. And I have no ego to inflate or offend. That's not an issue. But when someone is going to reproduce the ideology that I've made, copy it word for word, and then distort it, now I got a problem. I have a problem because you're messing it up. We don't have to lie to people to get the point across. The marriage rate, he was wrong about. A Google search very quickly proved that's wrong. The obesity rate, which he is probably still doing to this day, because a week after I corrected him, he went right back and started messing it up again and telling the same thing he's been saying. Men have gained about 40 pounds and women have gained a little bit more than that since 1965. He's still saying that men have gained 3 pounds. I'm pretty sure he's still doing it because he was doing it months ago after I corrected him. And I was just like, okay, he's just going to keep doing that. We don't have to lie to do this. We can tell the truth and get there. We can tell the truth and get there. But here's my other issue. I meant what I just said a moment ago. You're not one of my peers. You're on the internet speaking as if you are one of my peers, but you're not. So you and I cannot converse on a peer level because you're not one of us. So when I hear you lecturing people and I know what you're doing is, I'm like, I'm not busting the hustle, but we need to characterize it as what it is. It's a hustle. I do teaching over here. This ain't part of the hustle. We're doing teaching over here. The standard is different, radically different. We're teaching over here. I ain't just saying any old thing.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, you cannot pretend to be one of my peers, put together a 5 bullet point list of things that you've halfway thought through that I showed are factually, technically inaccurate. Technically and factually inaccurate. At that point, if you've been following me that long, you need to go correct what you said. At least Roland started doing that. Roland Tomasi started doing that. You need to correct it. Don't sit up here and take that personally. If you're gonna speak correctly about it, everybody needs to be correct about it. And if you're not, you can go ahead and do that too. But don't get upset when I don't repeat what's incorrect. You're pretending to be one of my peers. And we take that seriously because there's enough damn misinformation out here. We don't need anybody pretending to be their damn peers anymore. We need folk who know it and got it. No, I'm not tearing anybody down. I'm saying that you're not going to be able to pretend to be our peer. Because the information that you're giving, what you're saying is wrong, is corrupted, is inaccurate now. So yeah, you're saying some of it is correct. The part you got from me, and then you're twisting it to say what you want it to, the conclusion for it to be. You are not hammering on the men for what needs to be done. Simply telling the women what they don't qualify for is not enough. It is not enough to simply say, hey, you got some screwed up ideology to you. That's not enough. After we finish saying that, what we gonna do from there? And that's the element that is always missing. And as long as that's missing, all you're really doing is creating a formula for, well, everyone tune back in next week. And I'm not for it. Let me get caller from area code 510. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Darrell Brown from Oakland, California.
Darrell from Oakland, what's on your mind?
Hey, basically, man, it's about I want to say about the 100th show I done tuned into. And a lot of people don't even understand why your name is Jason, Jay. They don't even understand what you out here doing or trying to do with us as a people, which is B1, y'all. I'm sick to my stomach, feeling like I'm out here alone and I got to call your show to hear somebody with the same mind frame as mine. You know what I mean? It makes me sick to my stomach, man, but I will continue to endure what I'm going through, whether I'm being checked about the money that's in my pocket or whether I'm being checked about the way I'm treating my people around here. I want you guys to listen to Jason, man, because some of y'all don't even know why his name is Jason. Y'all be one.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. There's a reason they call me the authority. Let me get caller from area code 337. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, well, I already called in. I didn't press 1, though.
Okay, well, hang up the phone. We're not here to sit on Blog Talk. Also, there's a caller on the line. I don't know if you're using an internet phone or whatever, but you're not going to be able to call with your phone number blocked, so you need to call from a phone number we can take a look at here. So stay off the line. Let me get caller from area code 773. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
This is Julian from Chicago.
Julian from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I'm going to have to give you your props, Jason, because I was listening to your other channel. I was listening to, the Black Authority, you talking, about everything going on with the community. And then I happened to run across The Business. And I was like, what's this? But I seen the other guy's channel before I seen The Business. And then I always heard you talk about, making, little, saying things about the other guy. And I was like, what's the problem here? I didn't understand the problem. But then I heard I listened to one of your shows from the last week, and you was talking about a woman having to, even if you paying all the bills, a woman having to earn that position, and she better pay something. And then you said that the other guys are going to copy everything you said.
And they did.
The other guys show, and they copied everything you said. And that made me realize that you wasn't just capping. You was telling the truth, that these guys are plagiarizing all your stuff, and also they not in your same arena. They not your peers.
Yes,
I didn't realize that.
I said from the beginning that where a woman is concerned, a woman needs to contribute. And of course, I'm just going to say it. I will only do this one night only. Kevin started off saying, what you're talking about is Kevin started off saying that a man should pay for everything. He's got videos in the title that says men should pay for everything. Once I explained the fallacy of that, now they changed it. Now, how you going to go all that time? And then I said that and all of a sudden it's changed. If I helped you to improve what you're doing, why would you not acknowledge that? What's your beef with me? Because you ain't got it with Rolo, and Rolo's wrong. So what is I don't have a beef with someone, but if you're going to update what you're saying because of me, if I helped you to improve what you're doing and help you to get straightened out in your ideology, why would you not show at least that's a gesture, that's just basic respect. Hey, respect to Jason. I hadn't thought of it that way before. But yeah, a female needs to put skin in the game. And this is why. It's not about her supporting you. It is about her showing that she values you. Okay, then why would you not show me the respect of saying, you know what, I got to pop my collar to Jason. You know, I didn't understand that, but he broke that down in a way that I understood. So going forward, I'm going to mention this. And now I understand why. Why would you want to not show me that respect? What is it about me that offends you that you don't want to do that? But when the white dudes show up, you have no problem giving them every accolade on everything. I'm just saying, I'm just letting you all know, there's something to that. When the white dudes show up, they get accolades they didn't earn, and the guy you took it from, you're not acknowledging. I'm not guessing my way through this. These guys are trying to learn on the job training. That's fine. That's cool. That's great and everything. But the reason why I say you're not my peer isn't for me talking down to you. I'm not talking down to you. I am speaking reality to you. You're not my peer. You don't have a unified ideology. You're screwing up my teaching. You're trying to take it piecemeal and you're trying to steal it on the low and introduce it to your audience, and then you can't get them to the end point correctly either because you don't even know how much a woman should be spending. You don't even know what she should have, why she should have it. You don't know what she should do with it. So on the one hand, you're saying the guy should pay for everything, and on the other hand, well, which one is it? Because you've never actually invalidated the other. You've never really updated it. And what I'm saying is now you're just causing confusion. And the real problem is because you refuse to acknowledge where you got it from, you can't get it straightened out. Because you never acknowledged where you picked this up from. If folk know where you picked it up from, then go say, well, let me go ask the source. But you don't want them asking the source because you're like, hey, I'm selling to y'all bootleg secondhand. Why don't y'all come to me? No, if you don't know, come get it. You need to get gamed up with the source. But you know what? The source they're talking about, I'm not going to tell y'all to go off and go kiss a bunch of white women's asses. I'm not going to say that. And they want to have the option to do that. Let's be very, very clear. If you built your damn YouTube channel off of talking about black women, you need to show some damn respect to black women. Let me say that again. If you built your YouTube channel talking about black women, even so much as black women's dysfunctions, you need to show some respect to black women. You owe them for what you have. You show them the utmost respect. Why? Because they taken up the utmost amount of your damn time. If white women were so fly, you need to make your channel about white women and keep black women out your damn mouth. You got to earn the right to speak about black women. You don't just open up a YouTube channel and then get to popping off at the lip about black women. You don't get to sit up here and do that. And all you clown ass niggas co-signing that, you need to go write a letter to your mama and get that straightened out in your soul is what you need to do. But let's just be very, very clear. I don't respect none of you niggas talking about black women and not showing the utmost respect. You got a whole damn channel and you finally are able to pay something. You're finally able to go for the first time in your life and go visit a 5-star hotel because you got there off of donations you got from talking about black women. You show some damn respect to them. You show some respect to them. And then you get in a room full of white women and whatnot, and you would never have been in that room full of white women or been on the phone with them if it weren't for the black women. You never would have gotten there. How the hell you gonna sit up here and talk trash on them and then realize the white dudes didn't do that? The white dudes talk about Karens. I want some of you clown ass niggas to understand that. The white dudes talk about Karens. They don't talk about white women. You don't hear them speak about there's a problem with women and white women in particular. We talk about the feminist movement. The white dudes, they don't lay it at the feet of white women. They just say women. But they don't lay it at white women's feet. You've never heard them say women and specifically white women. The closest they get is to say Karens. But they will not make this a white woman issue. They'll be damned if they're going to let you sit up here and play audio of them saying the issue is white women. Because at the end of the day, they want their women to be over everyone else because she is the mirror opposite of him. She empowers him simply by breathing. And what you have are a bunch of black males who ain't never had no money before. They've been faking it till they make it and are still faking it, pretending that they have a level of affluence that I know they don't have because I'm like, you're not one of my peers. I know you don't have it. Posing with some perfumes and some candles, that does not mean affluence. You can pick up all that crap on eBay or secondhand off of Poshmark. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I saying too much? Go ahead and do what you do, but at the same time, you're not one of my peers. So when you talk about black women, I got to check your paperwork and see if you've earned the right to do that. I got to see where you rank. Where are you improving the standing of black women? Where are you doing that? Where is that happening? Where is that occurring? I need to know where that's occurring. I need to see that. You got mommy issues, you need to get some damn therapy yourself and get that resolved. But you're going to sit up here in a room full of white folk and run down black women as if that's not running yourself down? You making money off of that? No, if the white girls are where it's at, you need to spend every day talking about them, talk about their dysfunctions, talk about how much you love them, whatever. Keep black women out your mouth. Black women coming out your mouth, there better be some love in this room somewhere. There better be some love in this room somewhere. If black women are going to be on your damn tongue, if you're going to make money off of black women, now you sound like them damn white and Jewish record executives who made all that money off of black folk through the 20th century. You got black folk on your record label, black folk on your lips, black folk on your channel here, and then talking trash about us behind our backs. No, you show some respect. You paying your bills and your rent off of them. You're meeting you talking about how bad black women are and yet meeting fly black women. No, you show some respect. You show the utmost respect to them. You don't sit up here and talk about comparing them and, well, if they don't act right, there's a Becky over there. Get your big flannel shirt wearing ass up out of here. Wherever you think is better, don't wait. Get to going now. Don't wait. Don't delay. Get to going now. You all have never heard me done that. I have the right to criticize black women because I'm not putting nothing above them. I can say the team sucks. You know why? Because I'm on the team. I'm a franchise player. I'm not switching to a new team. Not just because I'm from Louisiana. We stuck by the Saints for decades. I'm not a football fan like that. But you got niggas who got more loyalty to the NFL teams than they do to black women, and you are the masculine male. And I can't say masculine, but male counterpart. Not gonna happen. I don't respect that. I've never respected that. I never liked that. And I just came out publicly and said I've never liked no clown ass mess like that. You can't sit up here and live in Inglewood and be talking trash about Riverside. You can't do that. You can't live in San Bernardino and then come to Compton and start talking trash about Compton. Hell, you can't live in Compton and talk trash about Compton. How the hell you gonna sit here and talk trash about them like that? You can't do that on the street. You can't do that on the street. You can't come in the wrong damn neighborhood and talk trash about that. But you can sit up here and talk trash like that about black women. You can't do that on the damn street. No way. I'll let you have the last word.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, you basically, you said that was going to happen on your last show when you said that this the first place you going to hear this and everybody else going to take it, and that confirmed to me that you was speaking the truth. And my whole thing is that I do listen to the other guy, but now where do I go from here? It's like I'm going to keep listening to you because everything you say, like you say, is refined. When I listen to that and then come back and listen to what you saying, I'll be like, it's on a whole nother level. It's on an entire another level. Like you can tell that like you said, they're not one of your peers. You seasoned. You know what you're talking about. Over there, you basically getting unseasoned food. It's like you said, it's good entertainment. I mean, you might hear a couple of gems in there, but it all came from you. And then when I come back and listen to the refined work,
well, what it is, brother, is what it is they'll let these white women talk trash to them. And thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. They'll let these white women talk trash. When it comes to black women, you got to understand, you got to be built for that. You got to be built for that. My woman will go round and round in this son of a gun right here. I wish you would say something the wrong way to her. I don't give a damn what's happening. I don't give a damn what's happening. I got her back. She's got mine. That's the way it's supposed to be. And y'all will let these white women sit up here and talk straight up trash about you. And sit up here and be like, well, she was rude. But with a black female, it's because she black. Get the hell out of here. You got to earn the right to do that. You got to pay bills to do that. You got to pay dues to do that. You got to be a part of it. You got to be a part of that. These fellas are sitting up here mocking blackness, by the way. No, let me go ahead and say what I really freaking feel right quick here. When I see Kitten Heels sit up here and mock pro-black people, I'm like, if that nigga, first time he gets turned down for something, put in a pair of handcuffs, he's going to be running for the pro-black people. You built your channel off of that. You built everything you got. You stole your stuff from the pro-black people and then got the nerve to mock it? No wonder you think you have more in common with the white dudes and then they turned around and kicked you in the ass. Yes, black women can be difficult, Lord knows. Lord knows I got a Porsche Panamera. Never mind, let me just stop myself. Caller from area code 240. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Maryland. And I'm Yuki Sakura Speaks. I'm a young 20-year-old woman, and I really appreciate your videos. I look at your business channel, and I look at the Black Authority channel, and I really appreciate all the game and knowledge you give. I'm also in IT, and I love how you teach also the black youth how to learn game from you, because you were the first person that did this for a very long time, ever since I was going through high school and everything.
Well, thank you very much. I hope it has been useful to you.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm always in your chat talking, and also B1. I really appreciate it.
Black First Sister, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. No, let me go ahead and double down on that. I was about to back down from that. Let me go ahead and double down on that. One of the things I don't like is for niggas to sit up here and stuff, and for white women, they sacrifice every damn thing. They will get humiliated. They will get eviscerated. They will get publicly excoriated. They will get made to look like a damn fool. And the exact same stuff, they're sitting up here dating crackheads. Shout out Donovan. Okay, let me go ahead. I'll go ahead and lay the line for you there, right there. Yeah, the white women will be crackheads and heroin addicts. Shout out Donovan. Okay, y'all can go ahead and Y'all can go ahead and talk about that one. No, I'm not dissing you. I'm not dissing you. What I'm saying is the white chick could be a crackhead and a heroin addict, and her whiteness wasn't the problem. But a black female, if she was on drugs or whatever, the problem would be she's black. If you got yourself cleaned up and whatnot, I'm not going to kick nobody for having a drug habit. I mean, I'm not holding that against you. I'm not holding that against you, and nor will I co-sign someone else holding it against you either. I won't co-sign that. But when you was running around with non-black women and their drug habits, that wasn't a function of their race. But with all of a sudden with black women, it's a function of their race. You could spend years doing that, and all those non-black women, the problem wasn't their race. The problem was, it wasn't their race, though. But with black women, the problem is their race. No, I'm not going to roll with that. No, I'm not going to roll with that at all. You should have that same damn energy. How the hell is it for the white girls? The problem is they got a drug habit, but the black females, well, they black. That's the reason they got a drug habit. All right, Negro. Caller from area code 804. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, yes. My name is Ken from Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, did you say Karen from Richmond?
No, Ken.
Okay,
Ken,
I thought you said.
Ken.
Okay, I thought you said Karen from Richmond for a moment. I was about to say Karen. I hope you must be taking your hormones tonight, Karen. Let's ease back a little bit. When the operation is, can you call me when the operation is over? Or was it a success? Or I'm trying to figure out, was the operation a success?
You're hilarious, dude. Hey, listen, I got 2 points to make. One, I had an issue with interracial people talking about I'm half white, and I can tell you more about Black history than you can, and they've been raised by white people. And one other point is I always watch interracial relationships. The black person always looks docile, female or male. They don't never lift their head up. Their head is always down. They're just docile. And I'm going to leave it with that point, sir.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Please do give us a call tonight, Ken. Not Karen. Ken. Caller from area code 443. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, Kevin.
Okay. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Andre.
All right. Andre. Where is Andre calling from?
I'm calling from Maryland. I just want to say,
Andre's
Jason, man, I
from
think
Maryland.
Kitten Heels needs some therapy.
Well?
Yeah, I think Kitten Heels needs some therapy, man, and I really appreciate the work that you're doing and stuff like that. And frankly speaking, they just want to be down with the king, which is you, man. You've been influential out here, giving us positive game, and I appreciate you, brother. And like I said, Kitten Heels just need some therapy and stop jacking your style. Frankly, that's it.
Well, thank you very much for your support, brother. We appreciate it. Please do give us a call again. And let me be clear right now. I'm not here to tear down anybody. I'm here to build up. I'm not here to tear down anything except white supremacy. I'm here to build up. I'm here to build up. And I'm not going to do it off of other people's backs, and I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to stay consistent because this is what you're going to have to live with. I didn't have to change what I'm saying for them. They changed what they were saying for me. Caller from area code 612. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jason. Good evening. Thanks very much for being on my call. And
that's my man.
Thanks.
Is that my man, George?
Yeah. Yes, Jason. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for keeping us straight. I just want to really appreciate this because this is actually one of the biggest broadcasts that you have for this year, 2021, because it's high time we stop. If nobody, you made a very good point. Nobody has any credentials to talk bad about a women if you're not with a black woman. You can't go hanging out with other women and then you step back in and shit on our women. And you create this particular narrative where people sit on YouTube and you ask them about what type of woman do you want to date, and they say, oh, I don't want black women. I don't like black women. Real dark black men. It is very demoralizing for our children. I'm so happy that you brought this up. You have no credentials to talk bad about our women if you are not with a black woman. I just wanted to maybe share this contribution, and thank you very much for the good work.
No, you got to have standing. When you talk about every damn thing else, let me tell you something right now. You can't, I'm going to say something right now that's going to upset y'all to over there in the winosphere, but let me just say something to you very, very clearly right now. There's a difference between black men and niggas like you. You know why? Because you can't be a high-value black man if you don't prioritize black women. Mic drop.
Thank you.
And I meant that. How the hell you gonna call yourself a high-value black man and you don't make it absolutely clear from the outset that the feminine expression of you are a black man, the black woman is the feminine expression? How the hell you gonna be high value, but black women are not apex value? And the white dudes, that's why the white woman is the apex value. She's the apex. How the hell is he gonna say that that he can be the top of the food chain, but his woman is substandard? He'd never do it. He'd never say it.
Thanks very much, Jason, because this is actually something that people don't see the fallout of what they are doing. It affects the psyche of our black girls. It disorients them, particularly when you hear black men dissing our black women. It doesn't only end at that level. It affects our own young black women growing up or coming up. They just have, and they pick up these things on social media and they have it in mind that black men don't want them, black men don't like them. And this type of information that these people put out also reverberates into the mindset of other young black men coming up, thinking that black women are nothing. And then they abuse them in schools, in their colleges, they look down on them. So it's a ripple effect. It doesn't just end on what they say or what they do. And I'm really happy that you are really holding this whole thing to the fire and making sure that we need to come out strongly as black men to really go down on these people. We might criticize our women for their bad behavior, but it doesn't make us hate our women or not want our women. Thank you very much, Jason. Thanks a lot, and keep doing the good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, George. Give us a call again, brother, here. Understand something right here. If you're going to talk about this, and speak on this, you need to understand. You're sitting in a room full of white men who would never say that. White women have accused black men, gotten them in trouble historically, still do to this very day. And you're sitting in a room full of them like you on their side of the team. Tell me, what part of you is a white woman going to be able to enhance as a black man? She's going to have your back where? What exactly do you think is going to happen? Show me how she raises your value. Hell, show me how you raise hers. And if that's true, then you should also then Crystal Karazine must be giving the damn gospel that black women are raising the value of white men. Gotta be true. You can date who you want to date. You can do what you do, man. You can do what you do. But just understand, how the hell are you going to sit up here and have this fantasy in your head that you are somehow living separate and apart from the rest of black society? And that black women are just out here on their own? How the hell is that going to happen? Caller from area code 216. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brother Jason, this is Mark from Cleveland, Ohio.
Mark from Cleveland, what's on your mind?
All right. I just want to thank you, brother, for everything that you do on both channels and keeping everybody abreast and just outright checking those fakes, fraudsters, and just, I just want to thank you, brother. And I want to bring this one. John Henry Clark said, I am not here to debate anybody. I debate my equals. All others I teach. And you are the master teacher, my brother. Have a good night. Be one.
Black First Brother, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me be very, very clear about that right there. If you're going to create a media platform that talks about black women, you need to be elevating them at some point. You cannot criticize black women. You can't make them the priority of your criticism and not simultaneously make sure that you make them the priority of your support and quite frankly of your praise also. You can't do that. You can't do that. The moment that you tell me you're going to interject something else into it and that's going to hold you up, hell no. Hell no. The moment that you do that, you're out of bounds. You're out of bounds. That's disrespectful as hell. You are pimping black women's situation. If you don't like black women's situation, go ahead and make an interracial show and be done with it. Go ahead and do that. Go do what you do. But you don't have any value. In people, you live in a system of white supremacy. How are you going to have value outside of black society? What the hell is that? What type of fantasy are you telling yourself that you've got value outside of that? That somehow you're going to sit in a group full of white men as a dark-skinned black male, talk crap about black women, and that doesn't reflect on you. When you literally cannot go among Latinos, Asians, Arabs, Jews, or anybody else, and they would reciprocate that kind of behavior. You have never sat in a room full of Jewish men, no matter what Sarah Jessica Parker or anybody else has done. You have never heard Jewish men sit up here and talk crap about Jewish women. Try to get them to do it and watch what happens. Try it. You go sit in a room full of Latinas and try to get Latino males to talk trash about them. Try it. Try to get them to elevate somebody else over them. Try it and let me know how it goes. It ain't going, let me give you a spoiler alert, it ain't going very far. You go in a room full of white men and try to get those white men to impugn those white women based on their race. Try to get those white men to say, you know what, you white women mess things up for everybody else. Try it and see if they follow you down that road. Try it and see if they do. Room gonna get real quick. Call from area code 404. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
This is GBS calling from Atlanta, Georgia. Salute, brother Jason.
All right, brother. What's on your mind?
3 quick points. First of all, I haven't seen the video in question, but the problem with those Manosphere guys is this, man. They want to get spots at that 21 convention. So as you said, they're going to keep kissing people's asses. And number 2, in order for them to be ashamed, they have to have honor. And I'm familiar with a lot of those guys in that space, and they have no honor at all. And number 3, I'm going to make this quick point and let you get back to it because you're doing an excellent job breaking this down. You cannot be a high-value black man and be a coon in black society.
Mic drop number 2. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, brother. Please do give us a call again. I'm going to take one more phone call here because we've been on for almost 2 hours. I'm not going to do this all night. I've said what I wanted to say. Let me get called from area code 860. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, thank you, Big Jason, man. It's Welcome Big CT. I just want to give you a shout out. And also, I want to bring out a point. It's really messed up when black people don't want to give credit to the black people that's doing the work and getting the knowledge. That's one thing I noticed that goes on continuously in the black community as a whole that needs to be rectified immediately if we want to see better chances of survival. With that being said, like that irks me, because being in certain spaces and civics and stuff like that, utilizing your skills, utilizing some of your materials, you got to pay respect. Either you got to drop some dollars or you got to drop a name. And I don't see these brothers doing either one of those type of things, and that's mad disrespectful to the game. And that's I'm gonna just leave it off on that. They need to get their weight up, Jason. They need to get their weight up.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, brother. Please do give us a call again. Let me get one more call here. We're almost at 2 hours. I just want to top out at 2 hours. Let me get a caller from area code 857. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? My name is Ronnie from Boston, and I want to. What you're saying is right. A lot of the guys in the red pill incel manosphere, they worship white women. Because me, I'm a former incel. I've been on the forums and shit. They all worship white women. It's sickening. I'm telling you.
It kind of makes you think that's his purpose, as a matter of fact. When you see it go down, it kind of makes you think that's the purpose. Because we have to understand, as black people, the dominant society thinks in layers. The dominant society thinks in strategic layers is what they do. And we're the ones who don't understand it. We're the ones who don't see it. We're the ones who don't get it. So they see Neely Fuller. Oh, yeah, I'm bringing it all the way around. Pay attention, Mr. Candlestick. Neely Fuller said that white supremacy always takes both sides of an argument. So if you say that you don't support black women, they can take that side of the argument. If you want to be an incel, they can take that side of the argument. They can jump on all of these. They really can. And they can utilize it. So it doesn't matter whether you are chasing women or whether you're running away from women, as long as they're the ones controlling your movement. As long as they're the ones setting the rules for your movement, that's all they really care about. As long as they can do that.
Sorry. Hello?
I'll let you have the last word.
Another thing I want to get on is that there's a lot of anti-black racism within the incel community, because when I lost my V card to Milk, I took a picture of her hand and my hand holding, and I became all kinds of niggers and monkeys real quick.
Yeah, I mean, but understand now. Here's my real question.
Coon-ass niggas agreeing with him.
My real question though is how did you respond to it? Because what usually happens is when that occurs, we got a situation now where Negroes are so desperate for interracial sexual access that they will absorb any level of insult, any level of degradation, and just write that off as the cost of doing business. So the real question isn't what happens to you. The real question is how do you feel about it and what do you do about it? That's the real question.
What I did, I asked the other brothers in the Discord chat, to help me, defend myself against these white supremacists, and they sided with the racists in the chat room over me. The black incels.
Absolutely. That shows you the level.
Damn.
Understand something. These dudes today are not desperate for interracial sexual access. They are desperate to fetishize interracial sexual access. They're just desperate to fetishize it because they're not having a bunch of interracial sex. Let's just be very, very clear about that. You know that. All they do is sit in them Discord chats and whatnot and whine about what they ain't getting. None of them are getting off that Discord chat and crawling into bed with a woman. None of them are. If they were, they wouldn't be in the Discord chat. That's the first thing. So just to be very, very clear about that. This is where they come from. And one of the reasons why you guys don't need to be there, that's one of the chief reasons, because you got a bunch of guys who are failing. None of them are succeeding. They only have an echo chamber of other failures. And it's amazing how the guys recognize how this has messed up the women, but they don't recognize how it's messed them up. They don't see how it's messed them up. But they recognize how it messed up the women. That's the problem that we run into. And if you actually do notice that, then you realize I don't really need to be here like that. But the other thing is, yes, please remember, how old are you?
I am 21.
Okay.
Me and her broke up 2 years ago.
You are 21 years old. Man, time flies, let me tell you. All right. Basically, I have America Online CDs that are older than you. That's crazy. I know. People, I mean, if he's 21 years old, he was born in 2000. He wasn't even alive when he wasn't even, I mean, were you alive? Yeah, he was still in diapers when the airplanes hit the buildings in New York. He was in diapers. I was on the road to losing my second business when he was in diapers. So I'm not going to belabor it here. I'm clowning you a little bit. I'm not going to belabor it. But my point is, when the internet first came off as a commercial vehicle, you got to, for those of you who are too young to have known it or weren't alive to live it, those of us who were there in the mid 90s, we remember the internet was only for two things.
Racism and porn.
Pornography and white supremacists. There were white supremacist sites everywhere, and there was pornography everywhere. And there were a couple of chat rooms. You know, there were a couple of chat rooms, but that was it. AOL really kicked that off when they got started. They had the first really big one. There were a couple of minor chat rooms, but that was it. But when the internet first started, brother, that was it. In the early 90s, mid 90s, all it was pornography and white supremacy. So when you went there, that was the only reason you went. And that was the only thing would get reinforced to you. This steady diet, that's all you would get reinforced to you. So I'm saying Discord does a lot of that now. You go there and the only thing you find are incels or, chicks or political activists. I guess Discord has a lot of political activism going on over there as well. But that's it. But what you don't have are a bunch of people elevating you. So if you're losing, there's a lot of losers to reinforce you. But what you don't have is actual real support to help you fix the problem. Because let's just be very, very clear. How many worthwhile women are hanging out in a place with a bunch of dudes who don't know how to get along with women?
None. It's all dudes.
And the other thing is, it's not healthy. Let me tell you something. And there's this other guy, there's this Better Bachelor dude. Oh, man. Get him for a straight jacket. But that's incel headquarters over there. And this guy was literally calling YouTube to get them to crack down on people breaking the algorithm. So he came to protect his white privilege, and he's made some little greasy alt-right type comments. So yeah, there you go with that. So there's a whole group that will sit up here and reinforce that, but they won't help you all to fix the issue. And one of the things right here, it's not healthy for you to be denying you want to be with women. That ain't healthy. That's biological. That's like saying you don't want to eat food. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. That's like saying you want to lay down with pigs all the time. Laying in a damn pig trough, that's not healthy. There's nothing healthy about that. Sitting up here denying that you want the company of women, that's not healthy. That doesn't mean you gotta get up here and be laid up with 12 of them. But one, that's not healthy to be sitting up here talking about. Like, it's one thing when you were children and your sexuality hadn't kicked in yet. Okay, that's fine. You're all just sitting around. Boys and girls basically have the same body strength if they're 3 or 4 years old. Okay, but once you start taking off and that musculature goes up and stuff like that and the hormones get to going, it's not healthy for you to be denying that. That's not healthy to be a woman talking about, I don't need no man. That's not healthy. There's nothing healthy or correct about that. That's wrong. That's wrong. That isn't healthy. And you all have a bunch of unhealthy people who have failed, taking you in and nurturing you on a steady diet of unhealthy behavior because they couldn't figure it out. So they're telling you what you don't need and what you don't need to do. Because they couldn't figure it out. Because they're alone and they're okay being alone. It is not healthy for you to be sitting in a damn Discord chat with a bunch of coon-ass niggas looking for a white woman's ass to wrap their lips around. While they are sacrificing their dignity and self-respect and integrity. What little they have, if they have any. That's not healthy. That's not healthy to be in an environment where sexual access, if you can get it, which you ain't gonna get, but you're so desperate for sexual access that you denigrate yourselves. So all these dudes can talk about ghetto gaggers. Meanwhile, in the Discord, they're doing this equivalent of it. And they're sitting up here caping for the white girls. You don't see any of the white girls getting put down by black men, and a bunch of white girls get together and big up the black men for doing it. Now, that's something you ain't gonna see. You're not going to go into a Discord chat where the black men are talking trash about the white girls, and then the white girls, they talk trash about one white girl, and then the other white girls get together and congratulate the black men and support them for doing that. The opposite of what happened to you, you're not going to see that happen. They're not going to do that. And it's not healthy for you to be in an environment where that occurs. It's not, especially for those of you as young men, you're 21 years old. Were they talking about you getting your money together, getting your physique together, and getting your self-esteem together? Were they talking about that?
No, they would tell me stuff like, "Oh, if you're under 6 feet tall, you're fucked. You're screwed. If you're dark skinned, you're screwed. If you don't have a certain body type, you're screwed." And then I brought up famous black people throughout, famous black movie actors or famous black men who get women, and they're saying, "Oh, you're just coping."
Right. So they're going to tell, once you give them examples of it, they're going to tell you, well, that's an exception or whatever. Here's the real thing you need to have. The real thing is you need to get out there and do it yourself. You need to get out there and do it yourself. You need to get out there and do it on your own so that you don't have to talk about other people. You can talk about your experiences. I know a bunch of dudes. Yeah. I know a bunch of dudes, man, who are 5'11", 5'10", 5'7". I used to know one dude, as a matter of fact, it's an old joke, so I'm not going to act like it just came from him necessarily. But this brother was like 5'7", and you know, back when in college, and they were like, I only date dudes who are over 6 feet tall, and he told her, I'm 6'1" when I stand on my wallet.
That's funny.
Yeah, so what I'm telling you, okay, but just understand right there, and we all cracked up when we heard that, but what I'm telling you is that, do you realize that's a product of confidence? Genetics can give confidence. Genetics can give you height, but do you realize that genetics can't give you confidence? And there are a bunch of cornballs, socially awkward 6'4" dudes. There are,
especially on Discord.
I'm not gonna say his name. All I'm going to say is, for my folks from Shreveport, there was a basketball player. All I'm going to say is Fair Park. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to beat up on them. But to my people from Shreveport, shout out to the Port City, my hometown. There was a basketball player from Fair Park. He went to the pros. But dude, good basketball player, but you can't inject confidence. So yeah, you 6'4", 6'5", but you're socially awkward. Meanwhile, take a look at Kevin Hart. His little ass. I mean, I'm just saying, he's dark skinned, his little ass, but he knows he needs to compensate. And as a man, that's what you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to be rounded. When these guys tell you, well, if you ain't 6'4", you can't get it. What he's saying is there's a magic bullet. That's your first clue that the guy you're listening to is not reliable. If he tells you that how to appeal to women is a magic bullet. There is no magic bullet. Well, if you're 6'4" in the chat room, don't put him on blast. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put him on blast now. I didn't say nothing. And the chat room is already wilding out. I didn't say his name. Don't put him on blast. I know his people. And his people know me. I know his people. His people know me. Don't do this. Don't blow up the spot. Don't do this. But they know I'm telling the damn truth. So anyway, like I say, man, it's not a magic bullet. And what they do, these little young impressionable fellows like you, is they tell you there's a magic bullet. Oh, if you make this amount of money, then that's all women want. If you're 6'4", that's all women want. If you got a square jaw, that's all women want. And if you've never actually talked to women, then you don't know that no woman is going to tell you that there's a magic bullet. Yeah, that might be one thing, a couple of things that float her boat. But a woman is not going to tell you that there's a magic bullet. So they get little young fellas and a bunch of dudes who don't know will sit up here and tell you there's a magic bullet. Michael Jackson wasn't 6'4". He didn't have ripped abs. Prince? Dude, I know some chicks right now that if I start talking trash about Prince, they gonna blow my phone up. You fellas know we can't say nothing about Prince. When he died, all we could say was rest in peace. We couldn't sit up here and tell you what he was wearing. All them lace outfits he had. We couldn't say nothing about that. Them elevator, they call them elevator shoes. They damn near high heels. We couldn't say nothing about that. Prince was what, 5'4"? 5'5"? His guitar was taller than he was? Okay, and meanwhile, he was swimming in broads. And before he got a record deal. How the hell did that happen? Remember, he was rolling with Sheila E. back in the 80s when chicks who looked like that was bad back in the 80s and whatnot. But Sheila E., Vanity, Apollonia, Prince was rolling with all of them. How the hell little old 5 foot nothing to him do that? Because he was good at what he did and he had confidence in himself. He didn't have to be 6 feet tall and he didn't have to be a millionaire. This was before he got on. Folks, listen, this is before he got on. He didn't need that to get him on. So y'all go in a Discord chat with a bunch of guys who are socially awkward. They've never gone out into the world and done it. They don't know how to approach a female. They don't know how to talk to her. And because they have no accomplishments of their own, I've taught you all from an early age. When you have accomplishments of your own, you have confidence. When you have confidence, there's actually an agenda to speak to a female. You all have been taught that you're supposed to talk to a female and she give you the agenda. Bull crap. That's what those other guys who are 6'4" got over you. He's at least approaching her with an agenda. You need to have an agenda when you walk up. And them dudes in the Discord chat don't know how to tell you to have an agenda. So you all sit around sitting here holding your mouses in your hands and no agenda and then wondering why the chicks ain't digging you. So you got your anime t-shirts and your manga collection and your Pokemon cards. So they just want a guy who's 6'4". No, they want a fella with an agenda. A fella who's 6'4" is clear he can do something. A fellow whose money is straight is clear he can do something. A fellow who's a musician is clear he can do something. Your job is to make it apparent to her, I can do something. I'm just going to ask you straight out. What do you do? At 21 years old, what do you do?
Right now I'm getting, since my community college is closed because of the Corona, I'm doing these online.
There you go.
Hello?
There you go. There it is.
It's closed right now.
Okay,
So
my point.
IT
Okay,
classes.
my point is there it is. I'm not spitting on you or nothing, but I'm saying, do you understand why you would have trouble with females? You haven't accomplished anything.
Yeah.
Yet. You haven't accomplished anything yet. You haven't been able to bring them what your accomplishments. And the worst thing you can do is hang out with a bunch of guys who ain't built, but at the same time are not trying to get built. So the only thing they're doing is decimating your self-esteem. Theirs is broken, and now you're gonna be broken along with them, because you're too young to get buck broken like this. You're too young to have a bunch of non-black females getting you buck broken. You're too young for that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. See, this is why I didn't ask him about his father. I wasn't going to get into that, but this is why y'all need some real men in your lives to sit up here and explain to you. Yeah, I know Bicep Boy was telling y'all about, oh, you got to be 6 foot something. Bull crap. There ain't a broad you got in that room can't get pulled. Let me say this one more time. There ain't you notice the white men who were sitting in the room, they weren't co-signing that. The white men sitting in the room, the white men know that's not true. They're sitting amongst a bunch of white women talking about you gotta be 6'4". The white men in the room ain't 6'4", and none of them co-sign what you said. Fresh and misfit, that's your first clue that you're wrong. The white men in the room with you did not co-sign what you said, because they know it's not true. They know it's not right. That's why they didn't co-sign it. Because they know that women respond to physique, yeah, but they also respond to power, wealth, and influence. And they know that you talking like a young dude who don't really know nothing. So there'll be some goofy broads who don't want anything. That will get their attention. The white dudes ain't interested in getting attention. They're interested in holding it. There's a reason that they did not co-sign you and you didn't read the room and pick up on it. You didn't get it. Let me go ahead and just lay it down right now. How many of my ladies in the house right now would prefer, if you had your choice in men, you would prefer to have a man who was 6'4" and broke? Oh, she might lay up with him one time, but let me tell you, there's a whole bunch of dudes who are 6'3" with their lips poked out, complaining about that they don't get respect. They in child support court and every damn thing. I know a bunch of big niggas in child support court. I know a bunch of big niggas complaining about the respect they don't get from their baby mama, from their ex-wife, from their mom. I know a bunch of big niggas complaining. And you gonna tell me 6'4" is a magic bullet, while all these women are letting you know 6'4" and broke ain't gonna go nowhere. That'll go somewhere for some little goofy ass high school girls. That's not gonna go nowhere for a grown ass woman. No, she'll hop in bed with Mr. 6'4". Show me him getting respect. Like I said, the little old goofy high school girls, okay. As a man, we got to understand there's females you lay up with, and then there's one who is an asset to you. You ain't got to like it. The other thing is, to all my dudes in the room. To all my dudes in the room, I want to see how many of my dark-skinned black men in the room can't pull. Show of hands. Type the number 1 if you are a dark-skinned black man and you aren't able to pull because you dark-skinned. Type 1 in the chat room. I want to know who you are. I got thousands of people listening to me right now, thousands of men tuned in right now. If you are a dark-skinned black male in my chat room right now and you cannot pull, type the number 1. Type number 1. You're a dark-skinned black man and you can't pull. Your dark skin is in the way. If you look like Shamar Moore or Vin Diesel, you'd be alright, but your dark skin is an impediment. Jason, I can't pull. My dark skin is in the way. If only I was lighter skinned, Jason, if I looked like Steph Curry, things would work for me. In the chat room, Black E Fund, is that you? Okay, I got a couple of dudes who claim that's them. I need y'all to call up. Okay, I'm extending the program. I want my mods to get them to call up right quick. I see some dudes in the chat room typing the number 1. I need y'all to call in. Let me go ahead and get the number on the screen for you. I want the fellas in the chat room who typing the number 1. I need y'all to call in. If you're playing, you're going to get banned. I only want people who are serious. If you are seriously saying, Jason, my dark skin is keeping me from being able to pull, I need to talk to you. I want to talk to you. If your dark skin is in the way and you can't pull, Jason, if only I look like The Rock, if only I had the same skin complexion as The Rock, I'd be okay. I want you to get on the phone. I want you to get on the phone. I want to talk about this. Your dark skin is the problem. And then tell me why my dark skin ain't the problem. When we need to compare some notes right quick. Us dark-skinned black men, we need to sit down and dialogue. I want some names in the chat room now. I saw a bunch of y'all typing the number 1. No, let's discuss. Let's politic. I need to understand how it is your dark skin is in the way. Caller from area code 806. Are you a dark-skinned black male?
No, I just wanted to talk to you, but if you want to talk to a black skin guy, I respect your platform.
Well, I can give you 30 seconds. What's on your mind?
No, I mean, I just appreciate you and everything you did. Even from back in the day when you first on YouTube, you changed my life. Started my own remodeling business because of you. I've been having issues with family and stuff, and like you're an OG. You be giving some real game. You like one of the realest dudes I ever heard on the internet. I love the way that you come at it. You remind me of my uncles and shit. And it's just, I don't know. I want to, go down the way with you, the path, so you can maybe give me some advice. But I just, maybe this ain't the night for that. So I understand. I respect it.
Well, if you're not on my Patreon, you definitely want to go ahead and sign up for that. I'm going to be doing a Get Your Weight Up Wednesday here in a little bit. So everybody, you are on notice. Get Your Weight Up Wednesday is coming. If you're not subscribed to my Patreon, you need to be there. That's where it goes down. So if you're not over there, get your weight up, get signed up. Let's get you up. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I don't know. I ain't seen nobody call in to tell me about their dark skin problems. I'm waiting to see. Caller from area code 571. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Jason? It's Official MGTOW from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Official MGTOW, what's on your mind?
Not much, man. I just wanted to call and say, I totally agree, man. Before I ever even heard of who you were, man, I said and felt the same way about the average MGTOW dude. You got a lot of coons and buffoons, Uncle Toms, simps, and suck-ups when it comes to the general MGTOW movement. I ain't going to try to throw no names because I don't want to try to, big up none of these cats or nothing like that. But, yeah, needless to say, you got a lot of weak-minded cats out there, man, that make their weight off of sitting there, crapping all over black women, man. And I really don't respect that. If your idea is of going your own way and sitting there and talking all this, that, and the third about black women and having no kind of smoke for the same women that and really pretty much made you the, what that you are, then I really ain't got no respect for that. There's nothing truth or MGTOW or red pill about that. So that's just my opinion, man. Be one black first. Keep doing your thing, man, and keep telling the truth.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, brother. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 973. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Buddy Monroe. How are you, sir?
Okay. Where are you calling from, Bobby?
I have you through Google Voice. I'm actually calling you from the UK.
Okay, what's on your mind?
I was curious if you had your jabs yet over there. If you've had them, 1, 2, I don't know how many they're giving there, but I've had mine against the virus.
Okay. Why don't we go
you
ahead?
Had your vaccine.
Why don't we go ahead and give your number out for you, Bobby? Would you like that instead?
No, I'm talking about vaccines, sir.
Okay.
I'm not sure what your issue is.
Then get off my phone before I make your number
Go
public.
fuck yourself
and then people can
and
see
eat
what you're
my
really
shit.
doing. If anyone would like to call Bobby, his number is 973-317-8818. That's 973-317-8818. Once again, Bobby would like to have some reliable medical advice. I would like for you all to help him out because it sounds like he needs medical assistance. He's calling from 973-317-8818. It's very early in the morning over there, but he could use your help. Caller from area code 757, you're on live with the business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Jason. This is Aaron from Blackstone, Virginia.
Aaron from Blackstone, Virginia. What's on your mind?
Yes, I just want to thank you for everything you do. I listen to you pretty much 24/7. The topic today about the manosphere, I just wanted to say that I'll admit one of the leaders from that section, Alan Roger Curry. I've read his books, Direct Mode, Mode 1, and I've been reading it since 2010. And I think he does have some good advice as far as like personality approaching women, and it kind of goes into what you talk about when you was addressing low value men when you talk about personality. But I was just wondering, were you familiar with him, and whether you felt like listening to him and you would be congruent with your teaching?
Here's my position. My position is I don't really fool with any of those guys over there, because association brings about assimilation. And to be totally honest with you here, I just literally have not seen anybody who really was reliable. So any of those names, if it's a name associated with them over there, they would have a lot to do to convince me that they would be worth listening to. And if they are accepted over there, that's the first sign to me that something's wrong.
Yeah, I see your point, and I know he's done that 21 convention before. Like the other caller said, I'm not familiar with the video you were talking about tonight, but he has done it before, so I'm not sure if he was involved. And I do have respect for him too. So
here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing. All right, I need for you to take some pills right quick. Here's my thing. If you can name that many people, that's a problem. I need you guys to stop masticating it and stop wondering and just accept the reality. You can be aware of these people, but you shouldn't be talking about any conventions, any get-togethers, any coffee and cars. Y'all need to get over that. Y'all need to just stop that. If those guys over there, you all just need to understand at some point, these are guys who aren't really they're not really moving this subject forward. They're not really moving it forward. See, where I come from, we talk about what we're going to do. I didn't say I didn't like Kamala Harris and that was it. We got active and knocked her out of the presidential race. She got in as vice president, but she didn't get in as president. I didn't complain about Amber Geiger. I got to work on it. I didn't complain about Breonna Taylor's murder. I got to work on it. I didn't complain about the city council in Ferguson. I got to work on removing people. So while these guys are complaining about the laws, when you come here, you're talking to people who have experience at dealing with that, not sitting around pontificating and complaining about it. We have experience at dealing with it. We have experience at not just complaining about what's happening to us. Like, okay, what are we going to do about it? And then we get to doing it. My perspective and how we do, my approach is totally different from theirs. So all this conventioning and things, y'all need to understand when folks are just promoting their YouTube channels. When you leave the damn convention, what was the agenda after they left the convention, brother? I'm asking you, what was the agenda after they left the convention?
Like I said, I mean, the reason I feel like you're the
sir, okay, all right. Okay, I asked a question. What after they all gathered at their convention, what was the agenda after they left?
I just want to say I didn't go to the convention.
I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you that, sir. I did not ask you that.
They're pretty much their agenda. Pretty much their agenda was basically just about approaching and dating.
So their agenda, the only actual actionable agenda was to attend the convention. There was no agenda post-convention. There was no, when we leave the convention, here's what we do next. No, the only agenda was attend the convention, and when you leave the convention, go watch my YouTube channel. That was the agenda.
Gotcha.
And they have succeeded swimmingly because y'all are still talking about it, and you can move on to the next convention, but there's no agenda beyond the convention. So I seem real weird to these guys because I'm actually talking about what the hell you gonna do about your situation. I don't sit up here and say, let's attend the convention, and then the convention is the end unto itself. And I'm trying to open your eyes that if you're even still talking about these folk who went to the conventions, you're supposed to be asking yourself, okay, by the way, before I give this person any credibility, they went to a convention, they showed up, this, that, and the other. What was on the agenda after that? And if you can't answer that,
You're right.
that's your first clue. Something is wrong. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I know a lot of y'all are fans and whatnot, but the real thing is you need to understand you got to get over the fanboyism. Caller from area code 646. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? It's Steve calling from New York.
Steve from where at New York?
Harlem.
Okay,
New York,
Steve
New
from
York,
Harlem. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in because I fell into, subscribing to not Donovan, but the coach. And, they kind of recommend the other dude's video. I watched it, and then I'm like, he got to a point where he started to show how disrespectful he was to his own people. And I was like, oh, nah, clicked off of that, right? Left Donovan in the dust. And then I still listened to the coach a little bit, and then he started to do it. So I'm like, hold on. Like, this is just like a recurrent theme. Like, why these guys, like, whenever they talk about their community or their people, whatever you want to, it turns into like a disrespectful challenge, like I don't know if they're white masters or whatever telling them, hey, when you talk about black people, make sure.
Well, this is why YouTube promotes them.
Possible.
No, this is why YouTube promotes them. YouTube promotes them because YouTube is a white supremacist organ, and it promotes that kind of self-hate and coonery. So YouTube promotes them. But what you're expressing is what I've been saying the whole time. You basically have to be a coon to roll with those guys. You can't really roll with them if you're not one. And if you didn't hear them the first times they said that stuff, just stick around. They're going to come back to it. They're going to come back to it. And then you're going to realize, oh, I got to be a coon to roll with y'all. Now you're going to have to decide what type of person you're going to be.
And just to, raise the level of disrespect, these guys are always claiming that, the women that they bang are the best. The coach guy had a video where his ex-wife or whatever is screaming at him or whatever the case may be. And you see this tore down Becky. I mean, she looked horrible. I don't care if she looked young, better when she was younger, because, your age now kind of reflects how you used to look. She was busted. And, that's when I just had to draw the line. You can't be some kind of a coach giving people advice and you haven't been living up to your advice if you're dating busted women. And Donovan has the same thing, a bunch of busted white women. It's like, like how could you even do that and then show your face saying that you got all this and I'm so masculine and all that when you're attracting regular, trailer park trash. It's like horrible, man. It's horrible.
Well, like I say,
but I'm happy you did the show.
You have to be a specific type of person to make that work. And that's why we'll never get along with them because we're not those type of people. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I got a board full of calls sitting here in front of me here right now. I didn't want to be on really that long and stuff. We could be on here forever and things. Look, let me just be very, very clear about what I'm talking about here tonight. Your white manosphere guys, they have perfected running around selling jargon, what I call red pill jargon and junk science. That's what they do. And the whole goal is to realign the society to put them back where they feel they should be. Well, they call the shots, they call the tune, they dictate things, and that's the only thing they're doing. They are not trying to restore respect to, quote, masculinity. They are trying to restore white male primacy. And the moment that you join together with them talking about, oh, we're going to lift up all men, they don't do that. With Bill Cosby, they didn't help. Kobe Bryant, they didn't help. Cuba Gooding Jr., they didn't help. Tiger Woods, they didn't help. These guys have never run to the defense of black men. They're not going to do that. And I said this from the beginning. They're going to, quote, collaborate with you right up until they see you getting more powerful than them. Once that happens, it's out the window. The other thing is they love this jargon stuff because it helps them sell books and it helps them sell courses and it helps you become a student of their philosophies. But as long as you're a student, you know what you're not doing? You're not actually executing anything. So you become an expert on acronyms and phrases, and these guys bring in new words and solipsism and spinster and all this stuff. Yeah, they bring in these words, but you're not supposed to actually do anything with it. You're supposed to just sit around and talk to your friends and babble, but you're not actually supposed to do anything. That's the problem. You're not supposed to actually do anything. I'm telling you, I want you to move on to a point where you're doing something. So forget all the damn red pill jargon and the junk science and all of you cats, including those of you who breaking bread with them and hanging out with them. Just understand, they're already throwing you under the bus. They're not even waiting. They're already doing it now. Man, that went well. That went well. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here now. If you are new to the business, welcome to the program that laid the foundation for all these red pill, wannabe, high-value MGTOW posers, everybody else here. Just understand where they got the game from. You can join us when we broadcast here. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. YouTube does have us under a shadow ban, but go ahead and click those anyway so that we can count you amongst our audience there. If you haven't signed up for our Patreon, the link is in the description. Going to be having a new Get Your Weight Up Wednesday coming up here soon. Got a lot of folk who want to get involved with that. Six-figure women's club. Man, I've gotten a bunch of women who want to be on for the six-figure women's club. So you all be staying tuned for that. That's coming. We're gonna hear we've heard what the men have to say. The men who make six figures, we've heard what the men have to say. Now we're gonna find out what the women have to think. It's gonna be a gas. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.